a Mishnah in Pirkei Avos that says, "Emor ma'at va'aseh harbe," say little but do a lot. And this is all about our next speaker, Don Ghermezian. From day one of Project Extreme, Don has quietly been not only supporting all of our efforts, and I do mean all of our efforts, financially, but anytime any one of our participants needs some TLC and someone to talk to, he is always there. Just this past summer, when he once again hosted our summer programs in Edmonton, which by the way means that he travels to Edmonton every Thursday to be with us for Shabbos and comes back to New York on Sunday, one of our girls was upstairs in his house, not wanting to join the Friday night meal. She was overwhelmed and triggered. I found her upstairs in his house, sitting with Don, who engaged her in conversation and helped her relax to the point where she was able to join us and have a positive Shabbos experience that Shabbos and the following 2 Shabbosim. But it didn't end there. After the summer, she reached out to him on behalf of a friend. And once again, even though he's busy, Don was there making arrangements for her and her friend to speak to someone who can help out. This kind of doing quietly is something that is quite inspiring about Don Ghermezian. Don, thank you for everything that you do for Project Extreme on behalf of our participants and everything that you do for Klal Yisrael. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Ghermezian.
Kind words, AY, thank you. I'm only going to speak for 1 minute, but yesterday I was sitting in my house and we were talking about coming to Edmonton this summer. And as AY mentioned, the family, we have a number of houses in Edmonton, and every summer we host AY in the camp. And this year, it turns out that every single Ghermezian family member wants to come back to Edmonton to be there for the summer because they're really starting to understand what it is that we do there. And it's really, really all about changing lives. Somebody asked me the other day why I fly back, like AY says, every single Thursday I'm in New York, I fly back to Edmonton. And every Sunday after Shabbat, I fly back to New York. My family stays in Edmonton the entire summer. And I told them like this, we have a number of camps actually that come to Edmonton during the summer. We've got AY's boys camps, and then we also have Project Extreme on the girls' side. And we also have another camp that comes, a yeshivish camp, like 100, I don't know, they started out at 15, and Baruch Hashem over the years has now approached, I think, 100 yeshiva boys and Rebbeim and this and that. And the camps stay with us for a 4-week period. And it's really incredible to see. You've got, on one house, we've got 100 of the yeshiva boys and the Bachrim, and then in the other house, we've got AY and either the girls' camps or the boys' camps. And we actually make sure that when the girls are leaving the house, they have to go left, and then when the yeshiva boys are leaving this way, they have to go right. Anyways, what my point was to the individual who asked me was that you stand there, you look at these camps, right? You see the boys' camp, there's 100 yeshiva bachrim, they're learning, they're davening, it's the most incredible, uplifting experience in the world. And I think to myself, or I say to myself, you know, when I'm sitting there, I look at all these boys, I say, you know, Hashem, what would happen if I wasn't here, or we weren't here for this camp, right? And when you break it down, you realize, okay, so maybe the camp wouldn't be here. Maybe there wouldn't be a camp. Maybe this bacher would go to this place, that one would go here, that. But somehow everybody would figure out where that boy would end up, right? But then when you look at the camps that we have with Project Extreme and you ask the same question, the only answer that I come up with is, where would these people be if they weren't here? It's not an answer that you want to hear, right? This year, I think, AY, how many kids did we lose this year?
4.
4 kids. 4 kids. 1 kid is beyond comprehension, but to lose 4 kids in 1 year So we look at it and we say, if this camp wasn't in Edmonton, and we didn't have, and by the way, there were a couple of years or a few years where we split because it was a bit too difficult. Was it for me or for you guys?
For everybody.
Too difficult to have the girls' camp in Edmonton, but it was very, very painful for us because we didn't have the girls' camp in Edmonton, and it was in Bryceland for a while, and we realized that we were doing a disservice or an injustice to these girls. So a couple of years ago, we went back to AY. We're like, AY, we have to bring the girls' camp and we have to bring the boys' camp. And it's really something that the family has embraced because you see what happens to these girls and these boys the day they get there to the day they leave. All of the people that come, the new ones, you can tell the body languages, and you get to become an expert like AY and have become. The first day they walk in, you know, it's the depression, the anxiety, the I don't want to be here, I should be somewhere else, I this, I that. And then you watch the transformation every single Shabbat, every time we're together, every program, every session, and by the end of the 3-4 weeks, nobody wants to leave. As a matter of fact, they cry because they have to leave, you know, and have to go back to, in most cases, a very, very sad reality. And unfortunately, the camp is just the beginning, right? It's only as good as how we follow up after that. And I don't have any, I have very little experience with it. AY was mentioning one of the girls that I spoke to, and when I got back, we had kept a connection, and I'd gone to meet with her, and I'd gone to meet with her friend, and I realized that, Hashem Yazur, I don't understand, how could you possibly do it? How can you follow up with these boys and these girls to ensure that they're in the right place, they go to the right place, they have the right organization, the right help? It takes more than 1 or 2 or 5 or AY's team or me or any of us. You need an entire army to do it. And so for us, the family, people always ask, I said, why are we so committed to this cause? Because we cannot stand to lose one person. Not one girl, not one boy. You look at it, you're not saving one soul, you're saving generations. Generations. This one goes to get married, she has 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 kids, and then it goes to 10 kids. And 100 years from now, you look at it, you save thousands of people from one life. From one life. So for us, yes, we give to Kolim, we give to Avrechim, we support schools, we support Yeshiva with this. We've gone through serious financial difficulties the last couple of years, and we've had to cut back a lot. But the one place the family has made sure that we would never, ever cut back on is Project Extreme. Because to us, there is no greater cause, no greater organization. AY, Ayala, the entire team, everybody that's involved in it. And I tell you honestly, it's tough to find space in Edmonton during the summertime because we have so many people there. But anybody that wants to come for the summer, for a Shabbat, I guarantee you it will be the most rewarding Shabbat you will ever have in your entire life. You are all invited, and we have a big backyard too if we need to, which we think we're going to need to this year. We're going to tent the backyard, and so you might have to sleep in a tent too, but we would love to have everybody come and experience it firsthand. That's the best way you can really understand what I'm talking about, because unless you've been there, and you're there while we're singing in the classes and the things that go on and really appreciate it, you really have, and no disrespect, you really have no clue what happens there. We're changing lives. My family and I are very, very proud to be a part of it. I'm sorry that my wife isn't here. We have a bris back in Riverdale, which threw a little bit of a monkey wrench in our plans for today, but Baruch Hashem, we're very, very happy to be a part of it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for all your support. And I'll leave you with this one last thing. If there's any place that you ever think about, where should I be sending that money? Where is the next place? What is the most value you're going to get for your dollar? I'll go out on a limb and tell you there's nobody that will ever tell you that your money is better spent anywhere other than Project Extreme. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you.